morning, everyone. Is my voice clear? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Good morning again, and thank you for joining us today for the NIN Ventures Global Investor Call. I am NIN, and I will be your host. Let's start with my background. I started my professional career at Merrill Lynch with their private client group. At Merrill, we manage portfolios of high net worth individuals. While it was great to trade stocks and bonds, I was always curious about how these companies went public. Thus, after business school, I joined Pacific Crest Securities. Pacific Crest Securities is a tech-focused investment bank with global presence focused on software, communications, semiconductor, internet, and digital media. Here are a few transactions I worked on at PCS. In 2005, IPOs were at the peak. It was amazing to take all these companies public, but that led to another question. How do VCs know what companies to invest in and which ones to take public? Thus, I joined Alpha Capital Partners. Alpha is a generalist fund with about 135 million of assets under management. My most recent transaction at Alpha was Circon, a software as a service provider company. During my time at Alpha, I realized how inefficient the fundraising process was, not necessarily at Alpha, but in general. Most of the LPs wrote a check of at least $5 million, which became hard to come by given the tough economic environment. So the natural question was, why not accept smaller dollar amount checks? Then came the questions of managing all those LPs, which was a no-brainer for me given my tech background. Right around that time, crowdfunding was gaining momentum, and I thought, why not raise a fund publicly? The general solicitation and general advertising under the Jobs Act and Rule 506C of the U.S. Securities Act made it possible for us to raise a fund from accredited investors. This rule came into effect September 23rd, and we were the first ones to go live with a website and videos of our fund. Let's take a look at our introduction video. Education software, internet and media, communication, cloud computing, other passive companies. In banking, private equity found our investment in-depth knowledge about sourcing, negotiating. For more information, please visit our website www.nin.me. Let's work together to change the world. NIN Ventures also became the first venture fund to be seen on a billboard, which was followed by in-taxi ads and other social media facilitated marketing. So what will NIN Ventures take in? The fund will invest in Series A and Series B rounds and will write a check anywhere between $1 to $5 million based on the industry sector and stage. Our focus is primarily on financial services, education software, internet and digital media, mobile communication, cloud computing, 3D printing, and other path in the United States. However, let's start with the macro view now. Why venture capital? Historically, if you look at the U.S. Venture Capital Index and S&P 500, you will notice U.S. Venture Capital Index tends to outperform S&P 500. Not only that, they have an inverse relationship. So what does that mean? For example, your traditional portfolio consists of 70% stocks, 20% bonds, 10% money market, and 10% money market investments. Capital. Your portfolio can now be 60% stocks, 20% bonds, and 10% money market. The addition of venture capital will not only help you diversify your investment, it will help you mitigate the risk given the inverse correlation between S&P 500 and U.S. Venture Capital Index. So why NIN Ventures and what is our strategy? Our strategy is to invest in early to growth stage path-breaking technology-focused companies. From 2002 to 2012, technology investments have dominated the venture capital industry. The highest amount of venture capital funding occurred in early to expansion stage companies. If you notice, from 2002 to 2011, sector-focused funds have outperformed generalist funds. And technology sector has outperformed the rest of the U.S. Venture Capital Index, with early to expansion stage companies yielding the highest returns. Thus, NIN Ventures will invest in path-breaking early to growth stage companies. We will not only provide adequate financing, but will also lead our domain expertise and network of partners to help companies with recruitment, PR and marketing, and a viable exit strategy for all our portfolio companies. The strength of our team, the value of our network, and our funding model that is designed to reduce management costs creates a unique investment opportunity. So, who can invest in the fund? One must be an accredited investor and verify themselves as an accredited investor before they can invest with us. An accredited investor is an individual with an income of more than $200,000 per year, or has a joint income in each of the last 2 years, or has a net worth exceeding $1 million, excluding the primary residence. Now, Rory will walk you through the investing process on the website.
Rory Dayton, and I'm the IT analyst here at NIN Ventures. If you have any IT questions at the end of this presentation, please direct them at me in the chat box. Right now, you're looking at the NIN Ventures homepage. After becoming interested in our fund, an accredited investor visits www.nin.vc and watches our introduction videos found here, here, and here. If still interested or curious, they sign up. Sign up is simple. You will initially need to input your first name, last name, and a password. and you need to acknowledge that you are, in fact, an accredited investor. Then, you sign up. In my case, though, we're going to log in. Once a user signs up and fills out their profile page, they get access to our marketing materials, which include our PPM, investor presentation, and other suggested readings. Users get access to our events page, where they can RSVP for events by clicking the RSV button and filling out the requisite information and signing up. Investors are also able to schedule a meeting with us, one meeting via Skype or within our office. Once an investor decides to make an investment, they must accept the risks and disclosure statement that explains what venture capital investing is. The next step is to verify accreditation. There are three choices to accomplish this: net worth and investments, and third-party verification. For the income test, one must provide IRS documents for most recent years in the form of a W-2, Form 1099, Schedule K-1 of Form 1065, filed Form 1040, and a written representation that you have a reasonable expectation of reaching the necessary income level during the current year. To verify accreditation for net worth and investments, one must provide documents dated within the last 3 months. For assets, upload bank statements, brokerage statements, other statements of securities holdings, certificates of deposits, tax assessments, or appraisal reports issued by independent third parties. For liability, consumer credit report from at least one nationwide consumer reporting agency, for example, Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion, should be uploaded. To upload multiple files, select and upload one file at a time. If you upload a wrong file by mistake, click the red X on the side of the file to delete the incorrect file. Also, to verify accreditation, use a third-party verifier for confidentiality. Simply click here to download a certificate of accredited investor status from the website and get it signed by a registered investment advisor, a licensed attorney, or a certified public accountant. The next step is filling out the subscription document and the W-9 form. Again, upload multiple files by clicking each one individually. Payment, and it's as simple as providing one's checking account number, the amount one wishes to invest, along with some other bank information. After that is completed, simply click Submit, and we will alert you when your payment is processed. Without further ado, NIN, back to you.
Rory, can you transfer me the presenter role, please?
Yes, I just passed it.
Venture capital is a high-risk, high-reward investment vehicle, and we strongly recommend viewing the other suggested readings on our website before making any investment decisions. On that note, I would like to open ourselves for questions. Please type your questions in the chat box and we'll make sure we answer them all. How do I schedule? Megan Smith is asking, how do I schedule a one-on-one? Megan, you can actually reach out to us directly on contact@nin.vc to schedule an appointment, or you can also do that on our website like Rory explained. Feel free to contact us via email, or we can be reached at 312-953-0930. What is the typical timeline horizon for my investment? A venture capital investment normally is 5 to 7, or I would say 10 years max. So when somebody invests, or when you invest in a venture capital fund, I want everybody to remember this. Can people still hear me? Okay. Venture capital investing is a long-term investment. When somebody invests with NIN Ventures, they're typically investing for 5 to 10 years minimum. Well, I assume that is it in terms of questions. Thank you again for all your time and being on the call today. Hope you have a wonderful day and the rest of the week.